There it is. The title screen for the Christmas Imperial Stout drink along. I just thought I'm going to review a very special Imperial Stout that I was given. I might as well call it a drink along. You know, that's kind of what some of these live ones end up being anyway. So why not do that, right? My name is Steve Jaguar. This is a Beer Native beer review / special Christmas drink along. It'd only really be a drink along if anyone else shows up. I probably should promote myself more. I almost never get anybody watching. But screw that. You can drink along after the fact by watching this on YouTube or Twitch or wherever it is you feel you want to watch these things. Here we go. Let's kick it off. Sometimes I feel like I need a longer intro, you know? Like the outro is like 10 seconds because it needs to be 10 seconds because YouTube sticks a bunch of crap over the end. You ever watch a YouTube video and all that junk shows up at the end? You're like, oh, man. All right. Oh, I do want to watch that video. And then you end up down a rabbit hole. Okay. If you are new to the channel, if you are live, if you are unlive, if you are not unlive, that's bad. If you are undead, that sounds better, doesn't it? If you are one of my zombie fans, please, if you're new, usual stuff, subscribe to the channel, give me a thumbs up, throw some love my way, come join me and watch occasionally. That would be pretty cool as well. I do have some hope that actually I might actually get some people to join me on this show because there was a particular person who suggested this beer and I would feel bad if I cracked into it without them being here. So I'm going to delay because I do have, sadly, multiple options for the Imperial Stout. If we go back and take a look at this beastie view, if you can decipher this, let's see if I can do this. There's the export there. There's this hazelnut pastry. There's a weird blueberry thing in the background. You can't really see that too clearly. If you check that out, then you'll know what I mean. Until then, though, I think I just spit my dinner out on my microphone. Until then, you're stuck with me. So let's take a look in the fridge and see what we have. What are our options? There is, of course, hold on, this Real Beauty, and this is the one that I think is sort of the pièce de resistance of the Imperial Stout Christmas list that I've been making my way through. The reality is I haven't been drinking these beers fast enough. I've got too many options at my disposal. This is the beast. This is from a collaboration between Trembling Madness, which is an amazing bottle shop and online shop based out of York. I've been to the shop. I've been to the shop / can shop / weird freaky, kind of looks like, I don't know, Northern Canadian antlers and pieces of fur bar that's upstairs. So if you walk into that Trembling Madness, you go like, oh, this is an awesome can bottle shop. I'm going to buy some amazing beers here. Also, go up the stairs and realize there's a killer bar up there. And Dea, weird art, crazy shiz, export stout made with York's finest. House of Trembling Madness, dark roasty. Wish you'd stayed a little longer. All right, well, we're not going to tackle that right away. We're going to actually, Adam, who he has his own beer channel. You can look Mersey Beers, all one word. Guess where he's from if you're in the UK. Just guess, wild guess. You're probably right. So we're going to look at that one. And apologies if my audio is out of sync. Screw it. I'm going with the microphone because the sound is better. I know the sync is slightly off. Close your eyes. Just let my voice soothe you. Here's the one you could catch a glimpse of. It's an S43 brewery. I'd love to get somebody on here just to explain why they're called S43. You know, it's like Blink 182 brewery. But Imperial Caramel and Hazelnut Pastry Stout. This, well, what's not to like about that, right? Imperial's 10%. Brewing without boundaries. Yes. A little bit extra information. Do we care? Oh, yeah, we do, actually. Columbus hops, pale chocolate, Imperial Munich, Crystal Flake, roast barley, English ale, 007. A little bit of Bond reference there. I like that. as the yeast type. I love when they give you all the details, because when I record, actually that list right there, I was wondering when I record the beers that I personally, the ones that I do record hops, malt, yeast type, and adjuncts, of course, as well. With the idea that once I've brewed enough, I will then know what on earth I like. I'll have given it ratings. I'll have all the details, and then what the plan was eventually to go back to brewing, and then I will have this incredible database of what I liked and what I didn't like, and what went into each one. So until then, I'm just creating data. It looks like I have a viewer who is a spam bot. I have more fans that are spam bots than any other type of fan. Let's just be clear about that. And this one appears to be Russian. So, it does probably is connected to the fact that I dabble in cybersecurity as a profession. So, one more. Well, two more. So many options today. If in the unlikely event these actually get destroyed as part of this, it's been nice knowing you all, because it's never gonna, I'm not gonna live through it. The Hazelnut Dream Cake, Coconut and Hazelnut Imperial Stout by Alpha Delta. That's their logo. It doesn't say right there. Let me just spin it around and we can, product of the UK. Well, that's really nice to know. There you can see AZ Vex Brewing. Oh, I call them Alpha Delta. I'm sure this is Alpha Delta. AZ Vex. I am wrong. Who the hell is AZ Vex? And how did I get this beer? All right, I may have to open this one. Oh, this is why I need Mersey beers on here. If this is a Liverpudlian drink, he probably knows them. He's probably somehow deeply involved with them. And I am not. So this is the whisperer needs to show up some point. And here's the final one. The Imperial Oatmeal Milk Stout with blueberries. And no doubt the bottom message is 100% true. You're not getting any. I can't pass you beer through. If I could, I'd let you try all of these. It is a 10% John Robinson art for Boundary. I went through this in a previous one. Timeless collaborative with their friends at Zapato. So kind of a collaboration. I feel like we're really extending, certainly Northern Monk is, the definition of what a collaboration really is, right? Sometimes people are collaborating with artists. They're collaborating with coffee houses. They collaborate with, we did one recently, they were collaborating with the mince pie people, were collaborating with the junk food, I'm forgetting now. It's like a charity that makes sure people don't waste food. It was on the last show. Go watch the last show. I feature it sort of prominently. So go check that out. So now I've got to find, I think I'm siding towards, as a first one, the S43, because that is where I stole the way I store ingredients lists and such. So that is kind of where I think I'm going to go there. Then I might choose one I definitely know is a collaboration, like I got to remember where Zapato's from. They're not, I feel like they're not the UK, and it's escaping me. I may have to look it up like on the fly. But I don't mind. That's cool. Well, if you don't mind, I don't mind. No one's. All right. Let's do it. Let's dive into, where is it? The S43. If that doesn't sound Christmassy, I don't know what does, right? Imperial Caramel Hazelnut Pastry Stout. Now I have two bots watching me. One's Russian. If you're a bot, what if bots respond to voice? If you're a bot, please leave a spam comment to do with porn's too easy. Something that wants to sell me Viagra. There we go. All right, let's take a look at this one. Imperial Caramel Hazelnut Pastry Stout. Now, am I going to drink all of these? The good thing about these stouts is you can actually kind of save them. They don't tend to expire. So I've got my Tico glass. It's a Beer Hawk. I got it for free. I can't remember how I got it for free. Check this out. Darkness like the Grinch is what I said yesterday, and I stand by it again. This is really nice looking. Let me give it a little woof and see what we think of it. Because a lot of these are still available. That's another good thing. I got several of them through Hoptimism, the bottle shop. You can definitely get the Dea one directly from Dea. So if you want to know, it's cheaper as well. So you might as well, right? That's like a delicious cold coffee. That is pretty amazing. Super sweet on the nose. Hey, Kent Beer Reviews. Thanks for coming along. Kent, I know your name's not Kent, but for those watching who now know you only as Kent Beer Reviews, if they didn't previously know, if you've got an Imperial Stout or you can recommend one to viewers, please do it in the chat. That would be awesome. I am about to sip the, or how have I already lost it? The Imperial Caramel Hazelnut Pastry Stout. Everything in a can that you would ever enjoy in real life. I only took a little bit there, which is an extremely sensible option. It's almost, the mouthfeel is almost a little grainy, as if it were the bottom of a coffee where you ground the grounds a little too much. It's got kind of that velvety thing, but I'm not, obviously I don't get things left in my mouth, but if you like coffee at that level, kind of real Italian or a little bit Turkish, it kind of has that that finish, which is really nice. It definitely has like a semi-sweet chocolate feel to it, which is also pretty awesome. Like not going too cocoa-y, but that little extra sweetness you get like when, I don't know, when I'm a kid, or when I'm not a kid. What am I talking about? Making chocolate chip cookies and you've got the semi-sweet chocolate chips and you're like, 2 for me, 2 for the cookie. That's kind of what I'm getting. And of course, it actually does taste like coffee. And it's not that sweet, not as sweet as it smells, but it's definitely sweet. It's super smooth. Wow. This is going to be a tough one to put down and a tough one to beat because it is pretty great. Oh, I let it sit. And now I'm getting some vanilla. All right. One more sip then. If I'm reviewing multiple beers on a single show, I'm going to I'm going to have to make some notes as to what my scores are. So I've got a little thing down here where I am going to make a notes on the S43. And that is pretty top notch. I'm going to throw an 8.7 on flavor. Then I'll do the other ratings I like to do about packaging and nonsense otherwise afterwards. You don't need to hear that one. But what's also important now, hello, Michael Foster. I've left that up on the screen. Michael Foster is in Toronto. He is a colleague of mine, and he's drinking in, what is there such a thing as a new Records Red? Or is it just like, is that a beer that's been in your fridge for way too long? And you don't know how it got there because someone left it from a party that you can't remember from earlier. So if we were to dive into, oh, this is great. There's some tough competition here, Michael, because we got a Fuller's Imperial Stout, worth picking in Waitrose 8. Ooh, that's quite good. £8 for a 500 ml bottle at 10.5 ABV. Question for you: is the rule never pay more than £1 per percent? Does that ring true? Let me know if you think that is relatively okay as a rule of thumb guideline. Let's take a look at these guys. Ho ho, hold your holsters. There's always room for a ho 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 joke. Damn right. You get a little bit of a feel. We have I just joined Rich Noonan joining. I invited Rich to be on this live, and he's not, because apparently he is watching. Apparently he's just got COVID. Apparently that's a big deal. Feels like crap. Let's zoom in. So the one I bought, I just showed you, is slightly less than £8. It turns out it is £6. Here it is. let's do a bit of let's see their analysis on it, right? While I pick it up and sip a little bit more and we look at it together. Thick, oily, check. Caramel hazelnut. All right, wait, hold on. I didn't pick up caramel. I'm still not. I would say I'm getting a dusty hazelnut. Like I'm sticking my face into a bag of hazelnuts, but I'm not actually eating any of them. It's a bit like that. Maybe it's all in the nose. Still good though. And I always think a strong hop. I don't want to say proud. That sounds like S43 is my child. I'm very proud of S43. They've really grown up to become a brewery that isn't afraid to advertise their full ingredients list. And Columbus is a great hop to go into a stout. I've got a few favorites. Generally, they're kind of West Coast variety. They give you a real nice pininess that you don't necessarily realize you're getting or detecting when you're drinking a solid stout. And that is pretty cool. Chocolate malt, obviously, because that's what it tastes like. Imperial Munich Crystal. These are roasted barley I love. It's great. I do not know yeasts. I will bow to anybody who knows yeasts. English Ale 007. It sounds awesome, right? So let's just assume it's great. Lactose is obvious. Vanilla, hazelnut extract. That's cool. But there's no caramel extract. Oh, there it is. There's caramel in it. All right, great. Well, I have a different Russian bot watching me now. This is great. I'm big. I'm pretty big in Russia, like the Scorpions. Imperial caramel and hazelnut pastry. So that's quite good. I've always been skeptical of stouts, which are the ones that are salted caramel stouts, because I bought a tiny bottle of salted caramel extract and I just threw a drop into what was pretty mediocre stout, and it kind of picked it up. And I thought, this is too easy. So extracts, okay, but when you're when you're just doing it to sell a beer, like this was a supermarket beer. I've had a few bad supermarket experiences. What a surprise. And yeah, I thought it was cheating. What's amazing here, right? You see a lot of this in stouts is they put cocoa nibs or cocoa something, and there's none in here. It's just chocolate malt, but it is super strong on the chocolate side. And it's just a combination, I would guess, of the nice lactose feel, the roasted barley, probably I hesitate to say Munich malt and chocolate, which is giving it a coffee flavor that is just simply not there. So I'm going to go big thumbs up. Just off the back of that, great comment from Rich. Throw maple syrup into stouts if they're nothing stout. Always a winning plan. Maybe I'll try the maple syrup salted caramel super stout, and I'll just go to Aldi. Aldi actually is making pretty decent beer. I'll just go to I'll just buy the cheapest crap stout I can find, and away we go. We're off and running. All right, so now I've kind of tied myself into drinking this beer now, because I have to at least clear out the coffers a little bit of the one I've got right now. So let me just bash this aside for 2 seconds. Michael Foster says a stout with maple is a great idea. I reviewed one recently from Siren, which was called Pancake Stack. It had no maple in it, claimed to me maple, and sucked, in my opinion, obviously. I think they should have put maple in it. So maybe maple does make everything great. I don't know. Maybe that's the case. All right. Let me just polish this off, and we are going to move onward and upward to the mystery brewery, probably. I don't know what SMH means, Michael Foster. Hold on. Shut my house. Simple mouse habitat. I don't know what that means. What's it mean? Suck my hemorrhoid? Oh my God, I can't believe I just said that. That sounds horrible. I'm trying to drink beer here. All right, so let's introduce number 2, and I'm going to park that. Invention suggestion for anybody, shaking my head. course. For anybody who's looking to make a little invention that I would buy, like when you pull the top off of a Pringles can and you peel the foil back and you eat some Pringles and you put the top back on. I know this never happens, but in theory, you could put the top back on the Pringles can. Can you make a little seal I can just put over the top of that temporarily so that, I don't know, flies don't get into it? It stays slightly more carbonated just because there's a bit of resistance. That, just the little lid to go on top of that. I don't know if you'd sell a lot or be a millionaire off of it, but I, for one, I'd buy 6 of them. I don't know. Probably, maybe buy that. Let's take a look at Boundary. Nope, that's not the one. We're going to take a look at Hazelnut Dream Cake because we're going to from hazelnut to hazelnut, strength to strength. Coconut and hazelnut Imperial Stout, 11%. Buy this. Now, if any of you are watching, and I'm probably... Oh, hold on. Collaboration suggestion. In the Stillness of the Night. Cloud Water. I for sure thought you were going to plug Siren there because you have in the past. But In the Stillness of the Night is an excellent choice. And anything Cloudwater. I mean, I know they're smashing Imperial Stouts, just they're smashing the darks, but I so trust a blind purchase from Cloudwater. But I don't have any Cloudwater today. So Avex. So where is it? It's in Liverpool. Rich has just said it's Neon Raptor's founder. When Neon Raptor is Nottingham, kind of my haunt. So this is their new brewery. So this is pretty cool, right? New and exciting. Never reviewed anything by them before. Azvex Brewing.com. So that is an absolute winner. Let's bring them up on the Cyber Infobon. Learn a little bit more about them because up to the moment I pulled this beer out of my fridge and obviously ordered it, their logo looks so much like Alpha Delta. And let's see what they look like. Does their website even work? Doesn't help if you spell Azvex Brewing wrong. All right, let's do it right, ladies and gentlemen. Let's have another little sip of the S43 while we're waiting. Let's clean it with the water you can't see on the side. I almost want to bring up the Alpha Delta logo just so you can see if I'm crazy. The logo thing. I think I have one of the Alpha Delta business cards here because I was talking to them at the Manchester Beer Festival recently. Not that recently. Yeah, I'm not crazy. Oh, it's just upside down. Oh, well, I guess so. All right, let's bring this up and let's take a look together and learn a little bit more about them. Check out the online store. Very brand heavy. Can't deny that. So if this guy's from Neon Raptor, why has he left Neon Raptor? Has something gone wrong? Because I'm actually kind of a fan of Neon Raptor. Space telescopes, lava lamp encryption. Oh, hello. Jelly jar sour. Lots of steampunk. All right. Let's go to the shop and just take a quick look. We might find this, and then we get a price point, which is also rock. Because I, for the life of me, cannot remember what I paid for it. Slow-moving pictures, like a bad documentary. Very good. Oh, they have a lot going on. Hazelnut Dream Cake right there. 7, that's probably really small. That's also small. Let's enhance. There we go. Oh, too big. Great. Hazelnut Dream Cake. Let's view the product details. Let's see how that explodes on me. Now it thinks I'm looking at it on a phone because I've hit Control Plus too many times. Well, that's not. Maybe I'm too big. Self-promotional humor. 7 pounds. 7 pounds is a lot. And not a lot of information, is there? Not really. Not as good as S43. You're losing points there. Let's hit into. Well, now I know how much it weighs. Okay, so all but nothing to learn about this beer today. Let's hit the. While we're at it, just hit the blog and let that spin in the background. Let's pop it. All right. What I want to see is a bit of evolution. So the first blog goes back to Welcome to Aztecs 2020. That's what we want to see. We want to know how old they are. That's really new. Who leaves and sets up a new brewery in the middle of a pandemic? That seems like the worst time to do it. Is Adam Henderson by any chance the founder that we're deeply interested in? Why am I setting up another brewery and is a good place? There we go. 2015. Read on while I pour. If you didn't know anything about them, founded Neon Raptor. That I knew. Okay. So I'm going to pour this out. See, I hope they're both doing well. Sold off the stake in Neon Raptor, kicked that off, and now trying to start another one in a new city. It's still just conspiracy theory. Why would you do that? If you had something that was successful in a good city and was doing really well, it's one thing to spin it a certain way. Why would you sell off your stake and risk starting something brand new? I mean, you're doing it in the right era. Can sales were going through the roof during pandemic. And so he's redocumenting the brewery setup. This is pretty cool. I'm going to have to come back here and like really dive into this blog because it sounds like it's pretty cool. But there we go. Let's come back, return. All right. So this is now the Azvex. I also have to find out why they went with Azvex. It looks almost identical to the other one. It's deep black, beautiful reflection of yourself in the glass. And a nice sort of slightly lighter head. I always feel bad. I'd love to get a non-branded glass sometimes. It's like, Beerhawk's all right, but they're not throwing me some cashola to have their logo up on every single show. What's that little booger there? That's not nice. All right, very dark. Let's give it a little whiff. Definitely more hazelnut forward than the last one, which also claimed to be hazelnut. I'm expecting to get coconut though, right? I don't know much about it, but actually I think I've got a pretty nice head-to-head comparison. Isn't that what? Yes is the answer to that, but also no. Not if things are going really well, unless there's a reason. Usually there's something you're unhappy with, that triggers you to do it, to move on. I could see that maybe it was my only theory of why you would start Azvex would be you're now all about business. You've hired someone else to do the brewing for you. You're selling enough, and actually you found the whole process, like now that you've abstracted yourself away from the actual decision making on the brews, that it's no longer fun, and it's the creating in the building that you love. I still think that's highly risky unless you sold your stake and that gave you a cushion big enough that this wasn't actually that risky. Then okay, there's my theory. Let's get their founder on this show and ask them. Steve, he says to himself. Still super chocolatey, super coffee, no coconut on the nose, but considerably more hazelnut. Let's go. That is like 50% sweeter than the other one. Bordering on sickly, on the edge of that mince pie one I did the other day. That's heavy. That is super heavy. That is not as excellent as the S43. Let me try again, because I've had some questions saying, how do you get a coconut flavored beer? How do you get an anything flavored beer? Typically, your extract. So we had hazelnut extract in the last one. Typically, you can get vanilla extract. I assume there's a bit of vanilla extract in here because I'm getting a little bit of vanilla for sure. The difference between the last one and this one, they're pretty much the exact same percentage. So I'm going to ask, I have a question in the chat. I'm going to put it on the screen to name and shame. How do we get white flavored beer? Out of the box, that sounds like racism, Byron. Like, I don't know. How do we get? I don't know, Byron. What do you mean by white flavored beer? And by the way, thank you, Rich, for a sensible response to that question. Toasted coconut chips in the brew. Yes, you can just throw coconut straight in if you're not lazy. Oh, answer. I don't know. When do you throw them in? I assume early when you're creating the wort and you get all the flavor out of it, but I don't know 100%. That would be my assumption about when you do that. But whatever it is you do it, I think, Rich, get in touch with Adam Henderson and give him a suggestion, because I'm getting zero coconut out of this. Closing my eyes, imagining a face full of desiccated coconut. I can easily be talked into flavors even by myself. I'm still not getting it. No good. I'm going to go back. If you are drinking a Imperial right now, Mr. Kent Beer Reviews, I'm going to extend an invite and see if you want to come join me on the show, because my expected guest, who just notified me that they were going to be late, and just showed up, and can hear me saying that. Never mind. Go away. I have a guest now. Let me welcome to the stream Harry from Blue Nose Brew Reviews.
Steve, good evening.
Harry, fantastic to have you here. I told my Adam like 5 minutes ago that both of you were going to be late. So what I've been doing is juggling. I've been doing some knife throwing, all sorts of distraction-based events, and plus, let me educate you as to where I am now in terms of my Imperial Stouts. I'm actually. Have you had this? This is what I'm on right now.
Ooh, I have almost bought it. I'm soon to buy it. Yeah.
You're soon to buy it. Well, should I ruin it for you? Because I already told them my opinion on it. It's very sweet, I'm telling you. But that, yeah. And if you like really sweet Imperial Stouts, I give it a double thumbs up. If you are hesitant, maybe you are diabetic or something.
That would be a reason.
Away. Yeah, I would stay away from it. And the one I did first, and by the way, I'm not pounding these. I'm actually sidelining them briefly. Was that one?
CS43. I have never had an S43 beer in its current format, because how they used to be Sonnet 43, and I've maybe tried 1 or 2 bottles years ago, but never had these new S43 kind of like gimmicky name beers, and then these new those, because I just can't stand gimmicks in beers. So I just tend to. At the same time, sometimes I do buy them, but yeah, I've just avoided it. Yeah.
I get sucked in by gimmicky beers, particularly when they say Imperial Gimmick and Gimmick and Gimmick Stout. I'm going to welcome the third guest who is here now. Are you ready, Adam? Put your pants on. There we go.
I'm so sorry. I'm really sorry. Just today, life has just conspired against me to.
Well, you're in. You don't know this, but you're in like 10 seconds after Harry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I quickly. Yeah. No. It's my last day of work today, so work's been mad. We're hosting Christmas, so my parents came and dropped the chairs off for many people because we only have a chair for 4 people. So I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Can you not just sit on the floor?
Yeah, Japanese.
No, apparently not. Yeah.
Stand.
All right. Now that everyone's here, do you mind? I'll start with Harry. Got here first. Do you mind, Harry? Just tell the masses that are watching this, and we'll watch obviously in the future, who you are, because you're kind of fascinating, but do it for them.
So I am Harry. I am Blue Nose Beer Reviews. I've been reviewing beers for donkey's years. But aside from that, I am a brewer by trade. I live and sleep beer.
Gratuitous plugging of your brewing allowed. Who are you brewing for?
So the brewery is Ramsbury Brewery. We're based down here in Wiltshire. So we do it's a 5,000 litre brew kit that I work on, and I've spent my day making mini kegs, just on it constantly. Just endless mini kegs, and it's mind-numbingly boring doing it, but it happened. It needed to be done. So yeah, we're a brewery and distillery is what we are. So yeah.
I saw my wife saw a sexy gin commercial for you that Adam sent me. So you've got a gin. Where's the dragon?
What's a noise? Adam.
Is that Adam?
Adam.
Are you about to be killed by Darth Vader?
I don't think so. I'm having internet. It's going really slow. I can't hear a dragon.
Yeah, I heard it.
Yeah, definitely. There was a dragon coming from your channel. I have the power of muting people, so I might do that. Adam, can you tell people who you are?
I'm Adam. I've had a non-existent channel for about 12 months, if that. I really like beer, but yeah, I think a lot of people review beer better than me, so I don't bother.
You have long late night chats about beer. Is that not true?
Now and again, yeah, it has been known.
And Harry, you have some of the longest YouTube video lengths I've ever seen, and I have started playing and then thought I can't commit to watching this, let alone even understanding. Are you just at work streaming? Is like what's happening?
Nope.
Explain the channel.
So like, given God, where do I start? So those sort of like super long streams tend to be like either a Saturday night or a Friday night or a Saturday night or like a Sunday afternoon, and it's basically a whole load of us sit around, talk about beer, and people drop in, drop out, and whatnot. So it goes on sometimes for 10 hours, as a good pub session would be. Yeah.
I have done this, but I have never dared to record it.
Yeah.
Because I should just skip to the last 15 minutes of these, I would imagine now.
Yeah, I recommend it.
Maybe do a start to finish and compare the complexity of conversation as well as degradation.
Oh, it's always degradation. Degradation every single time, and always ends up like being a bit of chaos, especially on the big long ones, big long ones.
I would imagine that is the case. Right. So there you go. You can look up either of them. You can see they've got their taglines here at Blue Nose Beer Reviews. Both easy, very easy too easy to find probably now. And I would imagine Harry's already got like 2,000 followers on his channel. So, and Adam, I don't know how big. They're both more popular than me. So thank you for coming. And they're like C-list celebrity, and I'm like a Z somewhere at the moment.
Definitely not.
I've got many letters of the alphabet to aspire to before I even get to their level. So what do you, Harry? What do you got at the moment? Because you didn't get the prep, so you definitely don't have the closing time one that I'm going to get to.
So literally just got Adam said last night whenever it was, what day? What was it yesterday? What Imperial Stouts do you have?
Did for yesterday.
Yeah, and then I was like, okay. And so I basically selected three.
Again.
Yeah. Selected three out of the cellar. So stuff that I've been sitting on for ages and ages and ages. And these three were actually first bought for when Paul, PA Brew News, came over to the UK back in 2018. So they're old. And one of them is Colonel Imperial Brown Stout. So, yeah. With a best before, a bottled on of 2nd of January 2018.
Given it's an Imperial, it has no best before, right? It could be in the cellar of a ship that sinks and still drinkable. Oh, we've lost Harry, but we've got Adam back.
It's my internet. It's my internet. Bloody rubbish countryside internet. So the best before on this, it does exist, but it's the 2nd of June 2023.
Okay, so pretty. That's what I meant by pirate ship related comment. For those who don't know, you get a longer. Well, I mean, Adam's going to know the exact down to the day, right? How long can you leave an Imperial Stout? 5.
Harry knows more than me. I don't know.
You're being modest.
Harry, a lot of ales, even ones that are.
What?
I want Harry to tell me how long you can leave an Imperial Stout, in your opinion.
I'd say with any kind of like strong ale, like 10% and above in general, I'd say maximum really of 10 years before it starts to really drop off.
Yeah.
I say this after last night I reviewed a bottle of 2005 Harvest Ale from JW Lee's, and that was a whiskey cask aged bottle, and that had really dropped off. It had really, really dropped off, and it was almost kind of going like sherry like, and you do get that sort of thing. Sherry and kind of mustiness kind of creeps into the beer. You do get that obviously with like older beers as well. So I had a time a couple of years back where I bought loads of really old beers, just because there were 2 beers in there which I knew could make me a profit out of that whole batch, and that was a Fuller's 97 vintage ale and a 2004 vintage ale, and the rest of it was just like Tolly Cobbold and just Barclay Perkins and breweries which don't exist anymore, and basically all the beers are from the late 70s and the early 80s, and we did try some of them, and they are all musty and horrible and just taste like dust.
Prove a point.
Yeah,
they have bits in as well,
lumpy bits. And I had like a 1981 Skull, which I just thought would be just a bit of a laugh, and like with foil is all kind of like fading away. And Adam, did I give you any of them, or did we try?
No, we did try a 1996 vintage cider between us, which we did awful. That I brought to the bottle share in Bristol. That was terrible.
Yeah,
I like how you threw the word vintage in there, as if to somehow give it a little bit of prestige.
It said vintage on it.
It says vintage on it.
Yeah, it did. It was vintage white cider from the West Country
in 1996.
It was bought 1996, and it was a screw top bottle, which is even worse. Screw top green bottle. Green
wonderful.
Glass bottle.
Time well spent.
It was. It was not. It was discovered. It was discovered in the back of a cupboard of a relative, and I was like, I'll try that.
That's the kind of stuff you find when you're clearing house on someone's grandparents.
That's exactly what it was.
Okay. Great.
Oh, this looks good.
Yeah. It's probably fine, right? I'll give it to someone else.
We had it between us. Well,
we struggled.
Yeah.
Adam, I'm
struggle.
gonna call you on empty glass, or although you are showing off the glass. Is
Yes.
that the only one you have? Are you gonna crack that now?
No, I have others, but I didn't know whether you were ready, and I didn't want to interrupt.
Yeah,
I
I'm
can
ready.
open another one.
Let me clear this out. I've already given my opinion on the Azvex, which is strong on hazelnut, 0 on coconut, high on sweetness, and generally pleasant. If I hadn't just had what Harry referred to as this novelty beer by S43, which actually was very good. It kind of hit
Azvex is. Sorry.
Do it. Tell me about Azvex, because I made a comment they were Liverpudlian. I figured you know them, and
they're about 5 miles that way.
Yeah, of course.
They're brand new brewery, 2 months old. Harry knows it's a former owner of Neon Raptor that runs it. They are. I think Steve's had some Carnival Brewing before. They are literally like 3 doors down from Carnival Brewing. It's the same industrial estate.
So, does the world need more breweries? Probably.
Yeah.
It's always arguable.
The US
No,
has
it's not. Go ahead.
More
How
per
many
capita.
Well, that sounds like a gauntlet.
I don't know how many per capita. It definitely is more though.
I do have that. By the way, Rich just said Adam's beer is very good because he's already had it. And let me just point out that this is a team effort here. We're going to ruin our livers en masse. But this export stout, therefore not Imperial, because they're only exporting it to us in the same country. What's the difference? Why does it say export? Is that just novelty, or what's going on there?
But really, isn't export supposed to be between Stout and Imperial, Harry?
Yeah, I seem to think it's just like another terminology for like a kind of like a with an Imperial Stout, you can say, oh, it's an Imperial Stout, and it can have all sorts of weird and wonderful flavors on top of it. Whereas for me, an export stout is a style. It's a style of stout, and it's going to be like this to this sort of ABV, these sort of ingredients. Don't fuck about by chucking like strawberries and coconuts inside of it. And it's just like standard. It's just a standard style. But then also doesn't go too high on the ABV.
No,
it doesn't.
Export stouts I've had in the past. No, it's 11. No, it's 3, which is way high. Export stouts I've had in the past have been about 7, 8.
Can you imagine if they made an Imperial?
Imperial export stout.
Holy shit!
Well, it's Deya's. I double checked. It is Deya's highest ABV beer to date. They've done 11% before, but we're 0.3 higher than that.
All right. When you check these things, what is it you're checking?
I checked Untapped as well.
Okay.
No. I checked Untapped, and then I've also had a look on the internet as well, and just to double check through past.
Okay.
But they've done quite a few 11%, but never anything higher. And this is the first one that's higher.
Okay, it's interesting. I want to get Harry's opinion on the kernel, but shall we crack this, seeing as you're ready to go and you're empty-handed?
Yep.
All right, let's do it. This is a little bit like not larger than the typical British can. Being a
500 ml can.
A precise 500 mils, yeah. That's 0.5 liters. Hey, we got... I don't know who's advertising these things. There we go. That, and I do not know who Window Beer Review Thomas is.
Thomas in Ireland.
There you go. Please like and share. Thank you. Both of us, all of us. Like and share, all of us. It's a lot of work, but you're up to it. You went for it. All right.
I did.
To see if can I pour it with the same level of skill that you have.
And I was like, it's been a
level. It's been a long day. It's been a long day.
So there you go. I've somewhat smashed a similar view to you. Look at that.
I think.
What value do you give to people who? There's a beer reviewer. I make fun of people who go 2 fingers of head because I don't care. that's I don't know if anybody watching cares or whether that's just how fast I poured it. But anyway, maybe I don't want you're going to tell me that's absolutely vital now and completely debunk my channel.
No,
you're right. It's the Germans like a decent amount of head because supposed to keep all the aroma, isn't it?
Yeah, holds in like the aroma, but I think like a lot of their concept of when you go to the big kind of beer festivals is when you see them with that huge head on them is because by the time they actually get their beer, the head should be about that bit. It should be a fair bit smaller. It's just to kind of overcompensate for the length of time that it's going to take you to be served.
Right. So the head of time is there to overcompensate for the little.
I was just waiting for you to go down there.
It's all fine. All right. Everyone loves a big head. All right. Ooh. Roasty. What do you got?
Bit of coffee. Yeah, roasty coffee, dark chocolate, very dark chocolate, like Baker's dark chocolate.
Like Baker's chocolate. I was thinking Lindt 90%.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Very nice.
Bit sweet at the end.
You get sweetness in the nose. I always struggle with that. Given the size of this thing, it should be like smashing it. Now I'm overdone it. I've got to go smell a piece of soap or something to try and it's like cheese. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
I think it smells like it's going to be smooth, which just doesn't make any sense.
Cheers. Very bitter coffee on the taste. And the alcohol kick as well.
Got a little bit. Wow, it feels a little bit fireside, a little bit smoky even.
Yeah.
Like a whiskey.
Definitely the alcohol warmth is there.
So I thought the alcohol is warm, but it's not a what would I call it?
It's not burnt.
It's not
Doesn't burn.
It's not doing that. Yeah, that's it. I want to go one more.
No, it's lovely warming.
I can see why Rich kind of preempted our drink and said this is really good.
The lacing's really good on it as well. You can see with this light. Terrible light.
Oh, I've just checked my check-in of this beer.
Oh.
And so I had it, and Adam's beneath it saying, "Got a can of this en route."
Yeah.
But yeah, so that was.
It's been in the cupboard. It's in the stock
it was in the stock cupboard.
Yeah,
so I had it on draft at Daya. So that was when I last went up. I'm hoping to go tomorrow, maybe. But so that was with Rory, aka Mr. Pisshead.
Yeah, Mr. Pisshead.
I don't think he was quite Mr. Pisshead at that stage either. But yeah.
How did he get that name? Did you just call him a pisshead? And he said, "That's Mr. Pisshead."
Oh, right.
We never met Rory.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a character which I play called Mr. Something, and it's not Mr. Something, but I'm not going to drop you down this line too early. It's too early to drop you down this line. So then there's this other guy, so Rory, who we both know. He's not too far away from me, and no. he seems Rory is like beer, couple of beers, absolutely fine, and then the next beer gone, just absolutely just gone, and it's just that is Mr. Pisshead. That's when Mr. Pisshead takes over. Yes,
yeah,
there is no medium.
Sober, very drunk.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, there's a few people watching who. I'm not saying this is competitive, not at all. I'm just saying there are people who've seen me tip over that edge, and we'll see. The night is young, and all of my beers are plus 10%.
Can you be Mr. Pisshead?
Well, I know. No, we need a new name. I don't want to steal his Mr. Men accolade. I would need a head-to-head though with Rory at some point, just to be sure.
It is very smoky.
Yeah, it's. When I go whiskeys, I think like Lafroig whiskey because it has that sort of. I now smell like campfire after I've drank it. Mm-hmm. Not like that, not the peaty smoky.
Yeah,
but there's a really nice something comforting about it. It's so comforting that I'm there on it now, which is a super dangerous place to be versus you're still on the bend. Yeah, so I'm going to put mine down just for 2 seconds and let you play catch up so that I don't turn into Mr. Pisshead. And while we do that, just because I like to do this for people who watch after the fact, because I'm a geek for background. So that's Dea with their insane don't do mushrooms while visiting their website artwork. And actually, you know what I could do? I could just say, Adam, how long have they been around? Or Harry, and then you're going to tell me exactly. Oh, really? I just took 2015 for everybody.
Yeah, it's yeah. I think it's 2015. Yeah,
that's always a good guess when you're talking about a craft brewery that uses abstract art. Not to characterize them.
There you go.
2015. See? There we go. If I were to. And then he did a bunch of stuff and they had sexy art. And here's the incredibly attractive caricatures that I will never ask their artist to do with me. Tom Hobson. Oh, Tiku's a great brewery dog name. Anyway.
Is the top left one the lady that's on the Glue IPA?
It's not a lady, it's actually a bloke.
Oh, is it?
Theo, the owner?
So top left is Theo, who is the owner, kind of founder of the brewery, and Reg Frayne. I don't know Reg Frayne, but that person is on the glass.
So both of these people are on glasses. As far as we know, both of them are male.
Believe so.
It sure is the same person that's on Glue.
Yeah, it is.
This is Glue.
Yeah, it definitely is. Sure. Definitely the same person. Yeah.
It's an annual release IPA that Dea do, and it just has a person on the front. That's no crocodile artwork. It's a person on the front. And it's called Glue. It's a really nice IPA.
Hold on, I don't mean to drive a point home, but
slightly terrifying.
It says Glue right there.
Glue? Okay.
What does that mean?
The glue?
The name of the IPA is the glue that holds things together.
Okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Cool. And then, of course, the collaboration is Trembling Madness. Trembling Madness. Apparently, the UK's #1 craft beer specialist. Proven #1.
They're probably the best bottle shop online, other than Steve's sponsor, Beerheads.
Oh no! My sponsor is going away. Beers.uk. That used to give me.
Sorry, Beers.uk.
The same company, doesn't really matter. Used to give me cheap beer to review, and I didn't even have to mention that, but I did. They're killing their bottle shop.
All right, good deal.
Yeah, as of next year, it's gone. So I won't have them helping me out anymore. So if you're watching this Trembling Madness, doors wide open.
They threw a like at the post the other day. Who knows?
Is that how that works? You just throw a like at them. So this, by the way, you can't buy this beer here. When you said I should go get it, I ended up getting it at Optimism. You can get it at Dea, but I didn't want to get all Deas. You can't get it here. I have to look for it.
Sold out, maybe.
It wasn't even listed. I did a search, and I couldn't find it. So,
if it's sold out, they don't list it anymore. They take it off as soon as it's sold out.
No, it's annoying. I hate when breweries do that. Like when you want to just see if and you have to look through Internet Archive just to find what the point of this beer was that I got after it was gone. Anyway, there you go. There's Dea. Look at that. Okay, do not do mushrooms before coming to this site. I cannot stress it enough. Do you know why it's called Dea? Like Dea is like a word in Indian and Hebrew. It means of God. Is that why they are called that? Do you know that? I'm asking.
We were trying to research this the other day, myself and my friend's Charles, whilst we were at Dea, and we were like, so why is Dea called Dea? Why is Dea called Dea? And we think it was down to, pretty much what you said. It's just down to some form of God or something like that.
It's a good name, right? Because it sounds cool. And then when you research it, I work for an Israeli company, so I get all, and Indian companies. So I get when I saw that, I was like, oh, that must be that.
Yeah. Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. It seems right. It seems logical reason.
But then it's like now you want to know, how did they hear of that? Because that's just like that's not a normal word in the beer vernacular or whatever it is. So very cool. All right. So what are your? I'm gonna hit Adam up for one last comment on what do you think now that you've had a bit? Because I have done online reviews where I have either loved it, and then when I got to half the glass, I'm like, you know what? I changed my mind, and I've already stopped filming. Or opposite.
I think it would be a very good sharing beer at the 500ml can. You definitely feel that warmth. It's definitely got legs, as they would say. I am loving the. I don't know if you can pick it up on my terrible phone camera. The lacing on the glass is superb, and that I do enjoy when you get really good lacing on a beer. But for me, I think it's just you can get same strength or higher beers that don't taste the ABV, and I think it's where it falls down a little bit on that. But the body's really good, really nice flavors, especially if you like smoky stouts. It's brilliant. The carbonation's spot on, but it's just that alcohol burn. If you're not used to it, it's probably not the best export / Imperial Stout that you could go for.
All right, off the back of that, off the top of your head, can you name a comparative beer that we could find that would be maybe an improvement? Or is it the best at the moment?
The Dea do, or just generally?
Oh, just generally. Just throw someone else into the best there.
Imperial Stout. I think Malt Garden. I think Malt Garden out of Poland are really doing some incredible stuff with Imperial Stouts, and the 3 or 4 I've had have been ridiculously good, especially the coffee stouts. I think they're hitting sort of the 10-11% on their ABV, and you do not taste the alcohol whatsoever. I know it's not a UK brewery, but yeah, it's. I think their stout game is really impressive at the moment.
They're an achievable. They're not UK, but you can. It's not hard to get them in this country, which is nice.
No, they're just expensive. Just especially with the whole Brexit thing, you used to be able to order from Poland, and it used to be incredibly cheap to get them. But now with the import costs, you're looking at like sort of £10+ a can, or generally they come in 500ml bottles, so it's like 11-12 quid. Right.
Yep. Well, it's worth it sometimes to splash out, particularly for the geeks who want to have a go. If you want, I you know what I feel bad because like we've done this one. Adam showed up late, and I haven't got Harry's impression on the Colonel because he might say this is the answer. Adam, this is the one you should have bought, and this is the one you should have recommended to Steve.
Yeah, you should. You could have got this many years ago. And I don't think you'll see it nowadays. The 1856 Imperial Brown Stout Oh, I've never seen them rebrew it.
Still
they
up.
might have done. Well, they still,
Still
are.
about.
Oh. Well, this particular weird 9.7% version.
Yeah, I had it last year.
Oh, okay, fine.
No, you know what the kernel's like? The kernel just go, it's a percentage. Well, it doesn't matter. And every rebrew is a different percentage.
Do you know who else does that? Me, because you're allowed to do it. I even brewed the same beer and changed the ABV on it just to make it sound different. But yeah, it's really nice. It's you can tell for a long way off that it is aged. It has got a bit of time on it because it when it starts to kind of develop that weird kind of umami, kind of leathery taste, and then umami kind of savory tone inside of it as well. Kind of going like a little bit soy, and I like that. I'm not a soy boy, but I kind of just like that in a how an Imperial Stout can really mature. An Imperial Brown Stout as well. It's like I'm not really sure exactly on what a brown stout is. Adam probably know because he researches weird things like this.
It's
over to you.
It annoys me. You'd be surprised.
Okay.
It's one of these things that annoy me. A brown stout because it's not quite an Imperial Brown. It's not quite an Imperial Brown. It's not quite an Imperial Stout. It's somewhere in between, and it's like I assume it's to do with the malt base, and they've done halfy on the malt base, and it just for me it's do one or do the other. Do not do a halfway between the two, but people do, and it's a historical recipe where they probably couldn't get the grain at the time.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to actually read because I do have a book which I think is weirdly at work at the moment, which has loads of old recipes like this, and you could probably find this recipe inside that book.
Let me do this. So this is Colonel Imperial Brown Stout.
Ooh.
What do you think?
It's got brown malt inside of it, which is a weird one to have. Pale Marisota, brown malt, black malt, amber ale, malt, sugar.
Because they're using brown
malt.
It
doesn't say sugar on it. Just no crystal malts. Ooh. And so
which
Carafa,
is probably more of a brown.
Yeah, because it doesn't. It's one thing I always find with kernel beers is that they have like the pales are let's not get started on the pales, but the tend to be with their dark beers or the stouts and stuff. It tends to be quite dry. Every single one's always quite dry, and it has no mid. It's always just like dark, really offensive, really in your face, and it's good. It's nice. It's weirdly kind of like clean and oddly refreshing. You could drink another 10 of them and fall over. But it doesn't have the real hearty kind of body to it. And I think you'd get that if you were to add something like a bit of crystal malt or maybe some, obviously, oats and whatnot inside of it. And there's none of that. I'm just reading the rest of it, and they only boil for 60 minutes, of course. So if you boil for a little bit longer, then it can round out a beer and thicken the beer up a bit further. And USO5, Jesus Christ. Okay. So the USO5,
which is not a historical yeast.
It's not a historical yeast, but it ferments. It ferments the fuck out of everything. So it will.
It's fairly new yeast that.
It's been around since at least the 80s. It makes
for an 1840. What is it? 1846 stout.
Yeah,
you're way off the mark on the yeast.
Yeah, but I understand why they would have done it. It was because USO5 basically eats through everything, and it would work up to that sort of ABV. It's also got sugar in it, which to bump up the ABV a little bit further. So it would work at high ABVs. I don't know what the OG was. I didn't see 1.096. Was that right?
Can't do the maths without a calculator.
So, it's 13 Plato or 1.096 finishing gravity. Start gravity is 1.096 with a finish. Let me do that. So,
you're going to cheat and use a calculator, aren't you?
Yeah,
See.
because I'm minus 1.025. So 1 times 0.13.
I've spent all day doing moisture percent, not doing percentages now.
4, 5, 6.
All day doing-
Yeah,
I
so
want to ask why.
That's part of my job.
Yeah. So that was a strong beer to start a lot.
Yeah.
It wasn't like to finish on that sort of gravity as well, which is high. I typically finish on 1.009 for a lot of my pales, but if I'm doing like my stout, I finish that off a little bit higher, 1.15. 1.015 is what I finished on.
You're drinking it.
I'm just gonna come out and go back in again because I'm having problems with my internet. It just seems to be lagging
Sure.
in a lot.
Cool.
I'm going to ask Carrie a question.
That'll be 2 seconds.
All right, get out of here. I can also kick you out if you want. Oh, damn. So, given you're reading this, but you're also drinking it, are you going, yeah, or no?
No, it's interesting to read some of the information. Well, some of the obviously it all makes sense.
Okay, it does make sense. Oh, I've lost you now. I lost you for a minute.
I'm back. So yeah, it's interesting to look at it because it does make a lot of sense. The priming as well. I only just read that as well. The fact it's got priming sugar in to give it a little bit of bottle conditioning or a bit of carbonation within the bottle, because that's something you don't often see with like more larger craft breweries. To see bottle conditioning going on. Maris Otter pale malt is a lovely sort of yeast to use. It's a lovely malt to use. Brown malt I never use that myself. Black malt I've used that a couple of times. Amber malt again, don't use it. I never add sugar to my beers because of.
So what's your opinion on that? Is that
It's it works. It works, but you'd only really do it on secondary. So once you fully fermented the beer out, or if that would be the only reason, only place I would add it, if I were to add it on secondary to if it was being, if the beers maybe you dropped it a little bit too low, say you dropped it to 1.004 or something, you forgot to like catch it quick enough to cold crash, and basically the beer ends up being a little bit dry and low carbonation. That's when you would think, oh, let's try and rescue this by putting a little bit of sugar in it to recarbonate it up a touch more. But of course, I did do a contract brew once, which did require sugar in it. And that was because it was like a 7.3% Belgian candy sugar kind of thing. Belgian triple or Belgian, I can't remember what it was now, but it was just a session strength on cask, which was weird. And they had Belgian candy sugar and then Demerara sugar as well to bump up the ABV a little bit. I was like, okay, well, it will give you different flavors. It won't give you the sort of sweetness that a body that a malt sugar or malt would do. So I suppose it kind of works in this, but yeah.
I'm going to ask Adam, are you good to come back? Adam, for those of you who can't see, Adam has been popping in out of the green room a lot. Do you feel, I can hear him. I can look at him. So now it looks like he's just poking at this camera repeatedly. He's gone. All right. So he's not ready. All right. The reason I'm asking about that, because not only did they add 8% of total grain weight, right? But in this bracket, depending on where this person, how reliable this person is and where they got the recipe, they're being quite specific about a mix of like white, light, and dark brown sugar for their 8%. Like there's a lot of alchemy going on to what they've chosen to adding extra sugar, and yet you're saying I would never do that, and yet these people are like, wherever this came from, maybe it was Colonel, is being very specific about what they're trying to do with it. I just find that fascinating, because in my sloppy brew days, which are 10 years ago, I would never have done. I'm with you. I would never do that.
Yeah, it just
Weird.
it's because you'd always. I mean, of course, it does go on. I was at Robinson's years ago, and if you go to their brewery, and they on their tour they show you the old kit next to the new kit, and you can see the big bashes on the side of the copper of when they were putting in mid-war, into war times, they were putting just giant cubes of sugar into their copper, basically to increase the sugar content because the malt was so expensive.
Right.
So
okay, that makes sense.
And then there's another thing called that's invert sugar a lot of the time that they use, and you see it in old recipes, old brew sheets and stuff. Invert sugar is commonly referenced, so maybe they're going for that sort of thing, but they weren't doing that in the 1850s. They were going hell for leather on ABV up until about the early 1910s or so. They were going, a mild is going to be 9%. Cool, fine.
Great.
Yeah, everything was super strong.
So what do you think of that one anyway? I'm curious. And I have another question for you regarding the one you said you tried that was from 2005, but I'll ask you that after. Like, given you had that in your cellar for quite some time, worth the wait? That's probably the larger question. Because people often don't do that. They don't age beers.
Yeah, I've done. It's not an intentional thing. It just happens a lot of the time. But yeah, so this was kind of left over from the Manchester piss up, as we called it. It was when Paul came over from the States, and all of us bought a ridiculous amount of beers. And I remember Paul came. I was working at another brewery in Birmingham at the time, and Paul came down to see me. And I said to him, "Right, I'm on deliveries at the moment, and I'll come back as soon as I finished. Just wait here in this pub in the centre of town." So he waited in a Fuller's pub and then bought a couple of beers from the Fuller's bar and met up with him. We went to a local cask pub and then to one of my friend's craft beer places. And he was like, "I don't like this." And it was just because it was a rough part of town at the time. We were literally walking down this. It's like an industrial estate in the centre of Brum, and then you just go around the corner. It's like a little craft beer bar, and we had a couple of beers in there. But then later went to a place called Cotteridge Wines, and also Sturchley Wines as well. And both of these at that time were Cotteridge Wines is often considered to be the best beer shop in the UK. It doesn't have an online store, but it's just like an actual physical shop. So we went in there and picked up some silly beers. Paul just didn't have any concept of what money was and was going into these places and spending like £200 on stuff.
Sounds like a good friend.
Oh, he is. And then we went into Sturchley Wines afterwards. And they had some. So this was 2018. They had like a 2012 bottle of Bourbon County, and I think at the same time we got some really old BrewDog, like Tokyo Rising Sun, like Highland Cask age and stuff. And just because he had it, just had all these old money, and we bought loads of beers in there. And I was like, Paul, we literally have so much beer for this because everyone else was bringing. I always say it, just bring 6 beers, and then knowing full well I'll bring double or triple, or if you add them, bring more. We had just the craziest bottle share both days that were up in Manchester, and I think Paul had to catch his flight. Everyone else was checking out, and we had about a suitcase worth of beer left over. And I was like, "So where's all this going?" "Oh, I'm not going to take it. Oh, I'm not going to take it. I'm not going to take it." I'm like, because they don't want to carry it more than anything. Right. So I ended up taking it all.
And you had a car or something, some mode of transport.
Nope. I was on the train.
Oh, holy shit!
But yeah, so I was just like, oh, okay, fine, I'll take it back with me. And it's just been in my houses, my multiple houses, ever since that. And all of these beers tonight are from that piss up. But we've had multiple piss ups here since, and we've just never had them. So I'll just have them now.
You've had fresh stock available for your more modern piss ups.
Yes, yeah.
It's only because you were caught off guard on this one that you dig into the archive. Oh, I feel privileged that I've managed to catch you off guard enough to get some of the archive out into the open. And we had a good chat about that kernel beer, and I on the fly found what might be the recipe.
It's good luck on the next few beers with the recipes of them. They'll be hard.
Well, yeah. Well, I went to Homebrew UK forum and searched on Kernel Imperial Brown Stout and got one hit, so that was very fortunate.
That's good. It's good.
Yeah, unlikely that would ever happen again, but I'm up to the challenge. All right, Adam, I'm going to do this just so you can see what happens.
Sorry,
when he comes into the green room.
No, sorry. So what happens is my phone, since I've changed phones, it hates. It will only allow Bluetooth headphones, but the browsers hate Bluetooth headphones. So whenever I try and sign into StreamYard, what happens is it just refuses to play through the headphones, so I just get immediate feedback, unless I use Firefox. It's the weirdest technical issue ever.
Are you on Firefox now?
And I've changed. I might have to be. Yeah, I was before, and unfortunately, Firefox is awful for using the internet. So, but it's the only one that allows headsets.
I'm on Chrome using Bluetooth headphones right now on StreamYard.
Are you on a laptop though, rather than an Android phone?
Oh, no, I'm not on an Android phone. I'm on a laptop. That's why you look like a giant, because you're on a phone.
Yeah.
But have you fixed it?
No,
you seem stable.
I'm still on Firefox. So I've got to go back to Firefox. I tried multiple browsers, and that's why I was flicking in and out, because I was seeing how they would work with the headset. Just didn't work.
It's okay. It was an exciting distraction.
So now,
while Harry was breaking down the recipe and talking about his incredible basement full of.
I heard he was talking about the piss up.
Now I'm going to send Harry a Christmas card so I get invited to this next bizarre piss up session that you guys have.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, happily, you're welcome.
Yeah, it's.
I think we'll do a summer one this year as well as a winter one, because
they're interesting. Eventually, when Harry gets
to copyright strikes when he tries to get live.
Seriously? Why? Because you just got something playing in the background you shouldn't?
Yeah, I got 28 copyright strikes on a live stream.
Can't hear it all.
28? How do you still have a stream?
Because it's a copyright strike. Well, it's a copyright strike. It's just like, oh well, this is copyright. I'm like, yeah, that's cool, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm not trying to make money off of my 8-hour drinking session online.
Yeah, I don't care. Money.
Yeah.
Again, I can hear Adam's headphones playing through his phone. That's weird. All right, so if you take yourself off mute, are you feeding back, Adam? Nope. No. He is. I can hear it.
Can't hear it all.
You can't hear us, but I can. That's so strange. You can't hear us, but I can hear us through your phone.
Adam,
it's a good thing I'm not involved in technology for that job. Otherwise, I'd come over.
I know, Steve. You need to tell me what to do with, and I can hear you now. It just completely froze. I couldn't hear anything.
It did go a little bit odd, like halfway through you saying something. I just decided to not look.
We're only getting tiny feedback.
Harry can explain. Harry can explain to you what happened to my laptop, because that happened in Bristol, and it's due to get fixed next week.
Oh, that's why you don't have a laptop right now.
Yeah.
In Bristol, which was like about 7 months ago.
Just not had time to fix it. Just
yeah. So
it needs a new LCD screen.
And the reason why it needs a new LCD screen is because we were trying to open the window in the hotel, and Adam fell. He fell and crashed onto his laptop.
On the laptop.
Well, you fell out of the window or into the window?
No. Trying at the top where I thought the window opened, it was at the very top of a very tall window, and I slipped because the only way you could get to it was to stand on the bed. I slipped and landed on my laptop, which I'd put down so you could stream in about 5 minutes. I was just a bit warm.
And your human body broke the screen of your laptop.
My elbow, yeah.
I was gonna say, there's not a lot of sharp edges on a human body. Maybe even less on yours. I don't know.
No, I was fine. Thankfully, it was just the LCD, so it actually works when I connect it through the HDMI.
Oh, okay.
So the laptop's completely fine. It literally just the LCD screen.
I think the delay in ever getting it fixed.
I think Adam also forgot to mention that this was his brand new laptop after doing something. After spilling beer on his previous laptop.
I spilled beer on it, yeah. I've not tempted fate to try and get it repaired.
Just can't be trusted.
Excellent.
I screwed them on the board on the last one.
Laptop. So you lost a laptop by spilling beer on it. This is a whole other direction we could go in. Let me know where you are on this, because I have one more Imperial Stout that I can.
Literally just a sip. I've got a couple of sips left on it.
All right. Or one sip.
Oh, that's nice. Imagine not having work in the morning.
I don't. I've got to get up early.
No, I don't work in the morning either. In fact, I have to see family tomorrow, so the worse I feel, the better things will go.
I'm cooking for 10 people, so I've got to get up early, cook a gammon, clean some carpets.
That doesn't really count as work, though.
You could just go to Spoons.
Yeah,
I missed that. It broke up, as you said.
I had to say you could have just gone to Spoons.
I could have done, but they won't do a gammon turkey roast dinner.
They might.
You can get
on them now.
Doubtful. On them now, yeah.
You can just get Big Tim Weatherspoons.
So, Harry, are you working tomorrow?
Right.
When do you stop brewing?
Well, to be honest, I haven't brewed for never stop brewing. So tomorrow, the past couple of days, it's literally just been doing stuff for the shop. So doing like mini cakes and stuff. Tomorrow, I think is we're going to do some racking tomorrow. We've been doing racking today as well, so filling casks. So we've got to rack off like 60 tomorrow morning, which shouldn't be too bad. With like 3 of us doing it. And then a bit of topping and tailing, which is just taking the keystones and the shives out the cask and getting them ready for filling next week. I think next week I'll be brewing, so it's just a half day tomorrow, and then have a little Christmas party. Have some locally sourced venison.
Ooh, we got that. I learned
very local to your work.
Yes, very local. Possibly even shot by myself.
Let me do this. Hold on. You're gonna. Harry, am I in the right place? Is this you?
Yeah.
So we have 2 different websites. That is our gin and our spirits website. But yeah, that's our nice website.
That's your nice website. Where's the shitty website?
It's very simple. So this is like I say, the gin one, and then the beers one that is a little bit different. But I'll pop a link in.
Is it not just Ramsbury something?
I always get confused. Let's
just do this. You're gonna put a link in? A link's fine too.
Yeah.
Where are you putting it? Private chat or public?
Yeah, I'll put it in private chat.
You can put it in public if you want, because then the world will know.
Yeah.
But be prepared for a purchasing flurry.
I'm ready for it.
The Russian bots are going to buy up all your stock and all your mini cards, and maybe even try and sell you some Viagra porn.
Literally going to put it in private chat because I think my internet will crash if I try and put it anywhere else.
I see it.
Yeah.
Ramsbury Estates. Oh, all right. That seems really posh.
It's because we have the company has a whole estates business. They have about 300 plus houses, properties that they rent out and sell to customers.
Hold on, let me just mute Adam while his house is being ransacked. Sounds like. All right.
I was only
Christmas
clearing the
postage
glass.
notice.
That was it.
Now I'm back at Ramsville again.
If you scroll down, if you press like shop, it's
there we
different.
go.
It's weird. It's slightly, ever so slightly different.
Cool. I'm down. I want to see the beer. Is that okay? Although I did like
Yeah.
the pantry. That was pretty cool. I'm not. What happens if I click not? I've never done that.
Oh, the milk stout and the clockwork orange, brand new beers.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chalkwork orange.
Yeah. Chocolate orange. It was.
You can't
Play
say
on the
clockwork, otherwise
words.
it sounds like clockwork tangerine if you say clock. So we gotta be distinctive. That would have been a good one because at 4.8%, we can now officially call that Imperial, according to Adam's backup.
Well, no. I was going to give you the option, Steve. I've got three, so
Okay.
I'll let you choose.
So it's like I choose my own adventure.
Yeah. So we
All right,
can go
show
for, as you mentioned, the Imperial,
Hold on.
non-Imperial,
Let me ditch this.
Acorns, Gorlach,
Gorlach.
The
Golovka.
Yeah,
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
I want to
6%.
eat the label for breakfast.
Mm.
But it's not. Yeah, it looks like it should send me to
6%.
sleep, and then you go at a whopping 6%. Is that correct? Is that a typo?
No, 6%. Yeah. And then I've got the local option, which is Love Lane's
Oh
Imperial
God!
Stout.
Did you get that at an Aldi festival or something, or at Little
I
Festival?
got it a little, yes. Yeah, I did.
Okay.
But ironically, not from the brewery because I was like, I've had it before from the brewery. I've even had it on cask from the brewery.
Okay.
Or we could go for my
Or-
age selection, which is from America, which is the 50-50, which I think Harry's had before, which is from Truckee, California, from 2017. And it's the coffee one.
Is that from your
A bit
cellar?
of wax on the label.
Oh come on! We gotta go wax
the
label
the stout.
before the world breaks
Wax
down.
off.
You've got to go wax off and Jesus. So you're waxing off. Harry's racking off.
Yeah.
This is
It's
already devolving.
It's a US pint bottle.
Oh, so what's that?
And it's 11%.
300. Yeah. 11%. Yeah. A US pint is now, what is it? It constantly trades more in the we're going to rip you off quantity.
Yeah, it's what we call for work at we call the tons for in the US short tons, so it's short pints.
It's 473 mil or something weird like that.
Yeah,
Like
it's not a
make
million
cans
miles
of
away
that.
from. Sorry,
Yeah. Okay, don't apologize to me. Cut me off at will.
no, it's the delay. I'm sorry.
Freaking pint. All right. Got to figure it out. I'm Canadian, by if you don't know that. While I readily trash Americans, you're like, why is he doing that?
He's
It's
a
because it's
proud Maple Leaf Canadian. Oh wait! It's there somewhere.
The maple leaf.
Frozen up. It's frozen on my screen. Oh yeah, there it is.
my dual citizenship.
But yeah, no, 2017. So I think Harry's reviewed this because we got it. We got it about the same time, didn't we?
I wonder how we got it at the same time, and I wonder where we purchased it from, which I need to actually do an order from in the next 26 minutes.
Is there like a cutoff that makes it absolutely critical?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Here we go.
it's
Let's open.
it's
Can you
master.
share with the four live viewers we have left, of which most of which I work with and are staying low?
So we both, so Master of Malt, we're doing a flash sale on beers, and it was ridiculous because they were like all of this stuff, and it was at least £20 cheaper than what they should have been. Like for every single
Green Flash.
Green Flash.
So,
Green Flash. Belgian ales. Ridiculous.
so was that this year? Because Adam, you definitely sent me a message that said something about you should have ordered from Master Malt. It was like after it was too late. I was like, all right, thanks.
Yeah, I sent it and then you read it about 3 hours later after everything had sold out.
Okay, all right. So you sent it to me on time, and I was too busy, probably working or something.
Yeah,
And then when
it was a stupid time in the morning, and then me and Harry both did like, I think it was like 50 quid orders just because it was so cheap, and you got like, must have got like 20 beers for 50 quid. It was so stupid.
Okay.
They're like big beers as well.
Yeah,
I don't mind. Next time, that should be a thing. I should have sent you. Oh, I can't send you. Actually, I get in trouble. The because Beerheads is going under. They're clearing off their stock, and they sent me a discount code, which is probably Master of Malt quality. So I've got 100 pounds of beer coming before New Year's, which would be more beer than I can drink before New Year's.
Yeah.
But if they let me share the code, I will let you know. Depends how desperate they are to clear the stock. Wait till post Christmas and no one's buying it, and I'll be your go-to.
I've literally got to buy some gin.
Shit,
That's all I've got to do.
You have your own gin.
I do, but this was I've gone and bought Mum and Dad like this bottle of gin, the Silent Pool gin.
Oh, I don't know.
So
that one.
It's a session gin, 43%. It's I think it's Sussex or something like that. But I was always told to get it, so I've finally got it. But their favourite, other than mine, is Tarquin's, and Dad saw this Sea Dog Navy strength one, and
like
him being ex Navy. Yeah, it's 57%, and
I'm rounding.
yeah, it's I'm just gonna get a bottle of that.
It's really good. I bought it as a gift from my wife. She saw right through it. You're trying to get me. You're trying to proposition me to. Anyway, she never watches this channel, so that's good. Adam, you vanished. Yeah, it's very good though. I killed it off pretty fast. It was really nice. All the Tarquin stuff is like fantastic, and the plain blue one is like amazing.
Yeah. Oh, they went down to the distillery and got me a bottle of the. So they did a collab gin with Doombar, and they basically added the hops that they use in Doombar. So it was like some Pilgrim, some Progress, and something else, and it just tastes very bitter compared to the standard gins that they'll do. So,
gin. Okay, I guess it's yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, it's like
Sorry.
Sorry. It's okay. You went weird on us, so I removed your weird Eye of Sauron avatar that you had there. I've
got a proper avatar. It disappeared.
I have this. Opinions.
Okay.
Have you had it?
Which brewery is it? I can't really see it.
Oh, it's Boundary. I think it's Boundary. Hold on.
Okay. No, I've not had very few Boundary beers.
It's an oatmeal. This is probably what you'd qualify as a massive novelty milk stout with a novelty name. You're not getting any. But in fact, you know what? Like, I don't know what you guys you do beer things. When I review a beer like this on my channel, which I think is a lot of fun for me, it's so self-indulgent. I get like 2 views because everyone's like, what is that? I don't have it. I don't care. But I love doing it.
One of them's me.
What's that? Oh yeah, and one of the views is you.
One of them's me.
Because you'll see, like, what is he doing? But I like Boundary. It's a cooperative. I like Zapato. Okay, I didn't know it was a collab. That's pretty cool.
Zapato out of Yorkshire.
So that's not bad. A little bit of international collab is always a good thing. But it is a novelty, and if it does have blueberries in it and oatmeal and milk or lactose, I guess, it might not suck. It might be okay. And it smells arrogantly fruity from the outset. And that lovely head that retained on the last one vanished like a can of Coke.
I get a very sickly smell from this. It's like Hershey's chocolate.
Hershey's chocolate.
Yeah. Really
Understand
sickly.
what you mean.
So not a Cadbury's, but a Hershey's.
Yeah, that sickly chocolate.
Yeah. Hershey's Kiss.
Yeah. That really sort of sickly smell that you get, sort of, you have to taste.
Yeah, I completely understand what you mean with sick when you taste Hershey's.
The coffee's dropped off completely. It's Asian oak barrels. Okay, that's understandable. Brewed with honey. Oh no, honey, not coffee. I thought this was a coffee one.
Brewed with honey?
Yeah, honey. Brewed with honey. That explains a lot. It is sweet. But I'm sure I'll purchase the Java one.
Hold on. Yeah, one more sub for Steve. Now I have 2 subscribers.
Craig is a lovely human being.
I have to meet more of the people who are brewing. I think I've told you this, Adam. Like, I started doing reviews in the middle of the pandemic about a year ago, and a year and a bit, in the dark. Like, basically, I didn't even look to see if anybody else talked about beer at all on YouTube. I was a good 25 reviews in before I went, oh, I wonder if anybody else does this. Oh, thousands of people do this.
Not as many as you think. I wouldn't say it's thousands. Internationally, I reckon there's probably is over 1,000. But in the UK, I reckon we're well under 1,000.
Oh yeah.
Oh, in the UK, yeah. I was thinking internationally. I had a good conversation with this guy Anthony from Germany. Do you know him? He does Life is Beautiful is his channel.
I've heard the channel.
No, I don't know him, but I do subscribe.
He did some good interview. I say he did some good interviews because he did one with me when I only had like 5 subscribers. So big credit. And he did me right after he did Simon, who has like a gajillion subscribers. The guy's been reviewing since 1991 or something before YouTube, and yet somehow
not that long.
But who I've never met, seems like a lovely guy. But yeah,
Harry's met him.
Yeah.
Oh, you've met him?
Yeah. I met Simon a couple of times now. I think. Yeah, a couple of times. I think the first time I met him was at a Humulus Lupulus, which wasn't even basically was the precursor to Hop City, and at Northern Monk, and I met him there because Rob Hopsy knew him, has been friends with him for years, and was asked to bring him along to this particular brew day that they were doing, and then he was there, very merry, and then the second time I met him, he was less merry. But this was when it was very odd that this happened. This was like 2019. We were doing this Brum piss up. We were doing it in Birmingham this year. And we went to Daya on the Saturday. And because it's only 40 minutes on the train from Birmingham, so then we went there and And then rocked up there, and then a lot of my friends or our friends, Beers Without Frontiers, were there. Charles was there, and Adam will get a mild erection for the name of Charles.
He's such a lovely man, Charles. He really is. he is such a lovely man.
He's a lovely man. I do hope that at some point, somewhere in this world, someone mentions my name and somebody says, this person will get an erection. As this just happened. I hope, Adam, you heard that.
Yeah, and he definitely got an erection. That's why he's walked away.
He's gone. He needs a moment.
Sorry. The dog's going mad. Sorry.
That's right. So, yeah,
Charles is just generally a nice person. He is.
Just back.
Harry just turns it into something dirty because that's the gentleman that he is.
Yes.
Yeah, it's okay. The truth is the truth.
So Charles was there. The guys who he does podcasts with, Beers Without Frontiers, were there as well. And then Simon was there. Like, I was like, what? I was like, what's Simon doing here? And Simon was like, oh, I've been to this brewery, and I think it was because Rob or someone might have tipped him off and saying we were going down there. Because he can get like a direct train from Cardiff, so he just met up with us, and then that was fun. That was at Daya's old tap room, which is now a coffee roastery, also owned by Daya.
Not bad,
but it's pretty cool. But their new place, which is behind it, is absolutely huge. I'm looking forward to going again tomorrow and picking up some beers.
You live near good places.
Is it about an hour from you, Harry?
Yeah, about an hour drive. Train's a bit of a nightmare, but so it's always a drive.
Adam, what are you on right now?
And so I'm still on the 50-50.
But you didn't tell us what you think, though.
It's very sweet. It's a lot thinner than I would like. If there was any coffee in here, which I'm not 100% sure on, it's left the building a while ago. It's oak barreled, and you get that woody aftertaste, but it is a very, very, very sweet 11%.
11%. I haven't even told you about this one. Like, then you're not getting any. Like, it should be changed to you wouldn't want any.
Oh, really?
It's just it is. I will be defensive of the S43 one I had that felt like a novelty because it actually is quite good. It's the second best beer I've had tonight. This is so far the worst one I've had. It's just novelty. It's just adjunct and sexy label and a great mouthfeel for a sweet, badly blueberried stout. Like, it's not, the blueberries aren't making it somehow unique or better. And I would give it a pretty bad review if I was actually. I am. Hey, I'm giving it a pretty bad review. I gave Boundary a great review recently, so it's fine. But I think that was a little bit of a plaything.
The pales are excellent. They are. I've had a couple of Boundary pales. I don't think I've ever had anything dark from them. But the pales and their IPAs are really good. But yeah, it's just that the dark beer game is not great.
Well, do you think sometimes when people are making a dark beer, and this is opinion and versus experience, that it's too easy when you get a heavy malt in there? You know, when you've got roasty, you've got coffee, you've got chocolate, you've got all these things, and so all of them are so overpowering that then you just try to differentiate yourself with something that is like, what are you doing? Like, you don't know the outcome when you start. You brew this much, and then you've got to like throw some marketing at it just to make sure that you get rid of it, so that you can move on to something better. And that is kind of what this one feels like.
It's the nature of the craft beer world, isn't it? That you just have to brew something and move on, brew something and move on, brew something and move on, rather than
it's got to be something different.
Yeah.
And some breweries latch onto that permanently. I think of like Polly's, like most of what they do is really good, and they do move on. But is there ever anything you do when you go? Maybe this is an airy question. where you do it and you go, holy shit, that should be core. Like that is so good. It's going to have to come
Polly's
back.
have a core range now.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
In the last, is it Floret? Floret is their core pale. Petal. Is it Rose or Petal? Rosa, Petal, Rose, Petal. It's one or the other. It's their core IPA. It's no, because one was Rosa. I don't know if that was the double IPA, and Petal was the pale. I can't remember which one it is. One of them is now is now one of the core. Recently, but I think you got to look at the pedigree of the brewers. So like for Polly's, Lally was with at the beginning of his career was at Mad Hatter just before it closed, and Mad Hatter was one of those breweries that constantly did new beers. They had like a very small core range. Oh, Rosebud. Apologies, it was close.
It's okay.
But yeah, that's those three there are their core range.
3? What?
So the Floret, the Rosebud, and the green one. They're the new core range.
The little
There's only
pebble?
3 beers. And then is that what it is?
Gun Pale, Rosebud at 5.9. There's a little Petal West Coast, which is a cool choice.
It's anything that has Polly's in text on the top. Is that what it is?
Yeah,
they're the core range. Everything else is rotational.
Well, that's so. Not to like go back. Okay, right. Not go back to. I have a real obsession with beer marketing, and I did a thing on my channel where I bitched on it a little bit. Where to create a core range identity is really hard. So that's an excuse to avoid core range entirely, because then you can just fall back on mad artwork and a good artist. Whereas, the experts of core branding are like Siren and Northern Monk and like some of the ones that flow into the supermarket. And because they have core branding is part of the reason they can get into the supermarket. And Polly's have just done that, and they have a core range image. Is that a thing? Like, is that bad for Polly's? Like, what do you think from a microbrew perspective or a craft brew perspective? Are we on the edge? Like in 3 years from now, will you see Polly's and Morrison's?
They're already in the supermarket. Polly's been in the supermarket for a long time. They've had
what supermarkets are you shopping at?
So Tesco did the collaboration with Tiny Rebel, which is the Pineapple Express. That's been in Tesco for plus 18 months.
That's Tiny Rebel. I want a non-collaborative.
Okay. And Moonraker has been in M&S for nearly 12 months.
This is because I live in the middle of freaking nowhere, isn't it?
Same.
M&S.
I struggle.
It's a brilliant pale ale.
I have
5%.
I went to an M&S today, and all they had was crap. Mostly
bigger M&S food is what you need.
Gotta live in a real city.
Scouse M&S.
Scouse M&S.
Yeah,
they know.
Yeah,
not Grantham M&S. If
I live over the road from M&S.
Grantham M&S. Oh, Grantham M&S.
Harry used to live in Nottingham in his
Oh, Harry.
Oh, yeah.
So I live.
Yeah.
I lived in Nottingham until 10 years ago, and then now I live in Grantham because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
But it does mean I suffer from no Polly's in my M&S or no good beer in my entire area.
Do you have a Beer Heads?
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. I used to
sponsor the channel.
I used to go. Oh, okay. Fine. Okay. So I used to regularly go to the one in Retford and also the one in Newark.
Yeah.
So
beer. Was it called Beer Heads or is it just beer?
Beer Heads. Yeah, it was all
okay.
Yeah, Beer Heads. So like the one in Retford, I would always insist on because like one of my exes, she was from her family lived up there and stuff. So I'd be there or Idle Valley and stuff. So so we used to go in there all the time, but haven't done the Nottingham one yet. But yeah, I left
the train station.
Yeah,
it's right by the train station. We could have done it, but we went
4 seats.
When we went to
many other places. We
went to the
Stratford,
beer
Stratford
festival.
Avon.
Yeah, no, but on the way back, we went to the food place, the food court instead. We were going to go to Beerheads, and then we went to the food court because we were hungry, and they got that
Yes.
weird fried chicken burger.
It's the one with the donut.
Well,
The one with the donut, yeah. It was weird.
which in a certain mood sounds awesome.
Yeah, it was just very sticky.
What did you say? Donut?
Yeah, it was like,
Yeah, the bun was a donut. It just crumbled in my hand.
This is the irony, right? Of beer people who complain about adjuncts and malts and like very, very specific recipes, and then they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna eat a donut for a bun on a fried chicken burger." That's fine.
Yeah.
But all the rest of the ingredients were great. It was just that it was on a donut. No, it's just like if there's a bit of brioche bun, it would have been fine.
Yeah.
How was that not great? There's a time in the night when they give you a brioche and you go, "Do you have a donut?" It's just a thing I have. Excellent. Are you still on? I have to ask Harry. Are you still on?
No, I put that aside. I've moved on to this one, another vintage ale.
Great. That's what I want to say.
Howling hops, bloody hell!
Wow.
this-
Cool.
In a bottle.
So, Howling hops in a bowl. Yeah, you will not see this now and again. So this is actually got best before December 2019. So it's
Very old. Very old.
yeah. So it's 11.5%. Fighting ale as well. I like that terminology.
It must be the same age as this. It's got to be 2017, surely.
Yeah, I bank on that. I have just found it on Untapped, so let me tell you.
Oh my god! Try not to look at Untapped before I actually decide, because it's.
I've made my decision already on it. It's very nice.
Oh, good.
It's very nice. It's very nice. It's better than what Untapped says, in my opinion. It just literally just says
wrong a lot.
It just says this fighting ale was proved to have a real punch. Be prepared for a knockout effect. And this sounds like Howling Hops before they went a bit corporate. Like, oh yeah, you can't do that sort of thing because that suggests that you want to fight when you have this beer.
Cancelled.
Yeah. And that's literally a knockout ale.
But you're being knocked out by a sort of weird centaur wolf creature.
There's nothing wrong with boxing.
Sorry, reverse centaur wolf.
It's not. I can't tell you anything about the beer. It just says brewed and bottled at Howling Hops, Queen's Yard, Hackney Wick, London, E95EN. I guess they might still be there.
Which is
water.
I know. I don't think they've moved since then.
Oh, have they? Do you want the full postcode? Because you're that sort of person to type it in. Okay.
I can't do it without my phone or my laptop.
You've been assigned an action item to look this up. You will anyway.
Probably eventually, yeah. At probably 1 o'clock in the morning when I'm half asleep, I'll be like, "What was the address again?"
You'll be sleep googling. That's interesting. I want to do a screen. Hold on.
Yeah, so it's
hold the photo up to the screen, just with where the weird thing is.
Doom full screen.
That I want to see that stupid art. Great.
there we go.
Because the reality is, if I entered a boxing ring and there was a half man, half wolf who was on human legs with a wolf upper body, and he said, "Dude, I just need to knock you out for this photo," I'm in.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool. I don't know what this is all about, but it sounds awesome.
It also says store and serve cold, which it never has been either of them.
No. Constantly in the cupboard.
Stored warm, served ad hoc.
Or served at gas mark 6 for 7 hours.
Paul from PA Brew News says that a stout should never be kept past room temperature.
I'm a firm believer in that.
Or below room temperature.
Room temperature.
What's like?
So higher or lower than room temperature. It just keeps them at room temperature.
Oh, so why would you keep it? Why would you keep it like with knowledge of keeping it more than what's room 19?
I don't know. Just keep it somewhere. It lives in America,
my
so
garage.
it's always hot there, isn't it?
I'll keep it in my garage in the middle of summer and go, yeah, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
It's in there with my Brewdog Lost Lager. It'll be cool.
Harry loves Lost Lager.
Do you really? No.
It's Harry's favourite lager.
It's not my favourite lager at all. My favourite lager that's very easily available in my local Waitrose is which is Keller Pils or Hellers. They're currently doing
Really?
2 for $5.
More than Munich Gold.
Oh, don't. Oh. Yeah, well, Hackashaw Munich Gold or Moncler Gold or whatever
Yeah,
they call it.
that's sure.
I do.
But that's good. That's okay.
Yeah, but it's in terms of more easily accessible lagers. The Hellos is 2 for £5. Oh, it's just wonderful. It's cheaper than buying it from Lost and Grounded.
From Lost and Grounded, which is ridiculous. It must be a loss leader for Waitrose. I can't see it being.
Again, you have it at your Waitrose, and I don't have it at mine.
It's probably because I'm so local. I'm only an hour from Bristol, so.
See, I have Keller Pils. I don't have Helles in my Waitrose, which is 20 minutes drive for me.
It's weird. Of late, I can't get Keller Pils. I can only get Helles.
I'm the opposite.
Swap.
I'm going to pull a violin out and start playing like I might have one actually.
How small is your Waitrose? My nearest Waitrose is Formby, which is the only Waitrose, as far as I'm aware, in the northwest. Manchester is probably the nearest after that.
But you said Waitrose and North in the same sentence is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I have easy access to a Waitrose and a Booths, which is the northern Waitrose that you don't get down south.
Okay, right. Oh, fair. You're on the line. What a luxury!
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's brilliant. They're both 20 minutes drive, just in opposite directions.
So, do both of you have these? So, do you guys know Mike? Hold on. Let's just do this.
Mike Crow, yeah.
He is the other subscriber.
It's me and Mike Crow.
Yeah, pretty much at every time I do anything. And I really appreciate it, by the way.
Me, Mike Crow, and Rich.
And Rich, but I've known Rich for like almost 20 years, so he feels obligated out of international friendship to show up when he doesn't want to.
He had a legitimate reason.
He did. Yeah, he's a huge Siren and Imperial Stout fan, so he lives near Siren.
I also live near Siren-ish.
Yeah, not a million miles away from Harry then.
Yeah.
Do you know Rich Noonan? He's a big beer fan. He has a music podcast as well, which is doing very well. If you're a music fan.
Yeah, Harry is a music fan, but not a lot of people are fans of what Harry classes as music.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
This is where this breaks down. How long has this been going? 2 hours. So we've done 2 hours of Imperial Stouts, which I will defer to the experts who are on this channel.
I've only had 2
is that?
in 2 hours.
But that's essentially a bottle of wine and a bit more.
Yeah.
Which when people would refer to as excessive. And then he throws. Now we know what happened to the laptop.
Just move the phone back very slightly.
Your internet improved though when you poured a bit of beer on it. There's some kind of lubrication to your signal there.
It's the connectivity.
Yeah, that's good. You should have tried that from the start. It's working wonders.
It's only a little bit. It was only literally a little bit.
I don't know how much time you guys have in your hands. I just thought I know I'm abusing it. I normally only do 10 minutes online. I don't do these things where people just talk about beer ad nauseum. But I do 3 different technology podcasts. So I write shit tons of prep and questions before it even kicks off. So I can keep you here forever, essentially.
I've got half an hour.
Yeah,
And
good.
then I have to
I only had 2 hours, which is why I'm asking.
Sorry.
Because my wife has already opened the door behind me, which, well, not opened the door, but
Oh,
she's kicked
your time's up.
the door and said, dickhead, you said you'd be an hour. And I was like, it might be 2. We can cut off, though, because this has been an absolute pleasure having you two on the channel. It's been great to meet you, Harry. It's been great to chat with you, Adam. And it's been great to have some of the weird special guests that have popped in and out, like Mike just showing up late. It's okay. People have schedules. Harry, I'm excited because my wife saw your commercial because she's a gin fanatic.
Oh, great.
So obviously Google, being what it is, fed her what she wanted to see. So when I showed her the advert that Adam gave me, she went, I already saw that. Like, I'm on it. There's some kind of, don't worry about it.
Awesome. Good.
And this has been cool. So is there anything else you guys were thinking? I cannot wait to be on Steve's channel to say, I don't know. Anything. This is normally no, right? No is the answer. Typically, that's the answer I get.
How big is your actual beer fridge? Because the camera angle is skewed, and I can't work out how tall it actually is.
This beer fridge? Well, it's just like next to
Yes.
me. So this is a tiny beer fridge. This is really small. It holds about 20 beers. What you can't see is the one the other side of this flag, which is about the size of there.
Where the advent calendar was.
Where the advent calendar was, where I used to go out. Then, and the thing is, there's multiple side by side, and there's another one in the garage over there. So there's too many.
No, it was the little one. I couldn't work out whether it was a 6-pack holder.
No.
Or whether it was slightly larger.
It was a gift ages ago, which is just a little Guinness fridge.
Oh, nice.
You got a little tap in it. And that's just for the convenience of the show now. And obviously when I'm working and I'm like, fuck this job.
I can't do that. I just drink coffee. It's just not great.
Otherwise, that's it. So someday I'll do an anatomy of my weird setup, and I'll also do anatomy of how I do the reviews because I'm incessantly geeky. So when I do after this, I can't do it on this one. You've probably already seen, maybe, Adam. When I do a review, all my show notes look weirdly exact. And that's because I have I have an untapped API key, and I have a YouTube API key, and I've written a Python script that extracts my review from
You've lost Harry already.
I know, but it pulls it all out.
What you're saying.
Good. It pulls everything I say on Untapped and everything anybody says on Untapped, builds a review and pushes it into YouTube and overwrites anything I say. So everything, and then it pushes it to my website, which adds a map location on my website. So if I ever want to go back and see where I had anything, it's there. What's that?
You're going to get a lot of duff information pulled through, surely, from Untapped.
No, but the Untapped I filter all the shit out and I put all the good stuff into the description, and then I filter almost all of it out onto my own website, which then goes into a thing I will do in the future where I was describing it when you guys weren't here, where I will look at all the beers I've liked, all the ingredients I've liked that are associated with it, and I will rejoin brewing based on the analysis of the ingredients I like.
Wow, that's more ambitious than the geomaps idea.
We will see. If I do that, I like data, but I don't like doing things based on the data.
I understand.
So I would rather commission Harry to make my dream beer based on my data than actually make it myself.
We've already had this conversation where I said I would like a Fuggles beer brewed with New England IPA with a single grain because I'm an arse.
There we go.
Let's just say it's going to be weird.
You just described me. It's fine.
That's fine. I can also do you a DDH Fuggles, like DDH Fuggles New England IPA, like 3%.
Either New England yeast or London fog, some sort of hazy. I'd like to see a hazy beer brewed with a single hop Fuggles. That just sounds mental to me.
I think basically I'm going to double down on that.
go to Rusty Garage, and your dream has come true. Yeah, no, that can be brewed. Just I'll do it as a home brew.
All right.
Rather than
Bramley
5,000 liters.
Cross.
Oh, it's such a lovely hop. It's such a lovely hop as well.
I know. As a single hop, New England.
Yeah. It's gonna be weird.
All right. Well, on that bombshell, I'm going to let you both go because now that Harry's committed completely to making this beer, it seems like a great time for him to not be able to deny that it's going to happen. And I really thank you both for making this drink along like cool, because I spent the first hour on my own waffling.
Sorry.
And the last 2 hours. No, that's not your fault. Love it. Love it. Great to meet you, Harry. I hope to be a part of your drink alongs in the future.
You, Steve.
And I will let you go.
Thank you.
Okay, now I'm back on my own. That was actually way more successful than I expected, but I'm going to let all of you go. If you're watching here at home, I'm Steve Daguerre. This has been a Beer Native Drink Along, the first ever. Thanks for watching.